Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Straw Hat Crusaders. Woo! The one, thank you. The one and only JoJo One Piece podcast.
Wow.
My name is Hayden Hartrick, and sitting to my little tiny left is
Josh.
And to his tiny little left is
Adriana.
And to their even tinier little left is
Clayton Chalman.
And to his big old left is me again. Wow.
Why is yours big old?
Well, it's more it's why is Clayton's big old, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
My weight. Let's talk about these things.
Sorry, we are the Straw Hat Crusaders. We talk about two things, and only two things, and never anything more. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and One Piece.
It seemed
One
like
Piece.
you cut it off short. And One Piece.
Well, we don't know the subheading yet. We haven't gotten to that part.
Yeah.
Of the
Y'all
manga yet.
still actually don't know what it's even a piece of.
That's true.
Crazy stuff.
Well, it's not a piece of anything. It's the one piece.
The one piece of, and I won't say what it is, but
It's probably like a dog.
You don't
puzzle.
know.
It's a dog puzzle.
I
I
know.
saw that online.
Dog.
I guessed.
It's a dog
actually. I
puzzle.
figured it out on my own.
Whoa.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I liked your theory that you told me before I ever started reading it.
Oh.
Wait, did it have something to do with that? Did it have something to do with your big theory?
Do you have a big theory?
I do have a theory. This is not necessarily a Clayton original theory, but it's a theory that I subscribe to about what the One Piece is.
And when I heard it, I was like, if that comes true, tell me, and I will read One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up reading it before, but I loved the idea so much.
Uh-huh.
Is it something that you're willing to talk about right now? Or
I
do you
just
wanna...
think it is based off of some clues that would that we have no reason to like be thinking yet. So I'll wait till deeper into the series, and then when the time is right, I will give my theory.
Cool.
All
Okay.
right. I'm excited.
But we're not talking about fucking One Piece.
Not
And
yet.
we're not talking about JoJo yet either.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? How is everyone? How are you?
I'm great. I graduated.
Woo!
Yeah.
No more
Yeah.
school. Thank you, Nickelback. I graduated myself, and it was cool. I didn't jump in the river.
What?
Yeah, boo.
Wow.
That will make no sense to anyone who doesn't know that that's like a tradition.
And then there'll be a small
Texas
group
State
of
University, you
Yeah.
jump in the river, baby.
Jump in the river.
Down south, we do it different.
Yeah.
Why not?
Try that in a
It,
small.
just because I was like, what are you talking about?
Nothing, guys. It's a
Yeah,
it's
okay.
stupid.
All right. And my best friend, Mac, is visiting from New York, and they came down for my graduation, and they're still staying with me, and we're having a great time, and we're playing Minecraft, and we watched all 3 Trolls movies.
Nice.
So jealous. I want to watch the Trolls movies so bad.
You
Yeah.
didn't watch them in preparation for today's podcast?
Well, I thought that maybe, it would come up on the next episode. I thought the next episode was Trolls.
Well, you should read the group chat.
Important One Piece lore and trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Troll piece.
True.
Not my best.
No, I like that one. I think we're going to keep that one in.
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
God, so much has happened in the last 2 weeks. All of Hanukkah happened.
Whoa.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Yeah.
Is
it gonna come out, what,
everyone
like-
everyone in January right now. Happy Hanukkah.
That's being quite modest. It will be February at least.
I think we could hit January, late January. I had a birthday party a month before my birthday.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some people here were at it. Well, everyone at this
And
table
did
was
you
at
know
it.
it was going to happen, Josh?
I actually had no idea.
It was a surprise party.
I had a surprise party thrown for me,
Yeah.
and it
I
was wonderful.
threw.
Adriana did an amazing job.
It was a month early. It had to be a month early.
Yeah, it just wouldn't have worked any other way. But I'm very happy to have had that.
He just left. He just I opened the door and everyone was like, surprise, and then he just like looked at everyone and then turned around and walked away.
Well, it was so overwhelming. It was so emotional. All my best friends were just in one place, just looking at me and saying and shouting, "We love the prequels" on cue. And that was a lot to take in, so I had to go take a moment, gather myself, cry,
Sure.
sneeze, and then
Think about the prequels.
think about the prequels. So I did all that in about 2 seconds, and then I came back in. And it was really fun. Oh, and we had a winter party the day before.
That's true. It was back-to-back party nights. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Never saw it coming.
I felt really bad for y'all because I was like, y'all must be tired. I had no idea this was. I was such an idiot just playing poker at the fucking winter party with you guys. All of you just giggling to yourselves. This fucking moron doesn't know.
Basically,
His friends love him.
Yeah.
we almost, when you broke our little duck, we almost canceled. We were almost
Yeah,
like,
Jeff
well, we're
destroyed
not
our
going. We're not
property
going
and
tomorrow.
I think duck is a generous term for whatever the fuck. it is.
When you destroyed our thing.
Also, I just don't know why you keep pinning that on me.
Was it when you smashed it into an object?
Here's what I know. Here's what I know. Right? There were like 4 people in that room.
All of them were looking at you. All of them saw this happen.
Adriana was not there.
Witnesses.
I'm gonna say what happened real quick. Josh was. There's this like wooden spike thing that like has a moose head on it. It's really weird. We can post a
Is it
picture
a
of it
moose?
on Twitter
it's not
at
a
some
moose.
point.
It is definitely a chicken. It is
It's
so
not
a
a
that
bird.
hard to
It's
tell.
not- It's weird. It's a weird
It's
thing.
that hard to tell what the fuck we're looking at.
This was my favorite thing I got. I bought it. We did a gift auction, and I bought it off of Adriana and Mac after they had already won it for $100
So many people have thought it's a fucking moose. That's so funny to me.
It looks like a moose. Okay.
No. No.
And I was so excited about this. This thing was fucking awesome. I love this.
It was
and it's and Josh and a few of our friends are the last people here at the party. And I'm watching Josh as he's walking around our kitchen, and just kind of he's holding the moose chicken in his hand, and he's just kind of swinging it around. And he walks over to one of our wicker bar chairs, and I see him just raise it above his head.
Hold on. You're forgetting the context.
This is what I saw. This is all I
The
saw.
context better be somebody had a gun to the back of your head.
All I saw is, you can give the context in a second, but what I saw was you raise it above your head and you slam it into our chair. The nose breaks off. I'm like, what? What did you just do? What was that? Are you kidding me? For a moment, I was like so confused and angry, and then it was such an insane scenario because I was like, I asked you why you did that, and you said I thought the chair would break.
That was a joke. It was all a
So why did you actually do it?
well, here's
Yeah,
the
clear
Explain
your name.
yourself.
me and Lucas, I think it was Lucas, we were passing it around. We were like, yo, this is some heft to it. Like, for something that is indescribable and, like, hard to pin in terms of exactly what it's
Chicken.
supposed to do, it's really hefty. It feels really durable. And I just kind of, like, and I don't know, I felt at one point someone bumped it against something and it just had this this big thud and allegedly, my intrusive thoughts allegedly took over, and I was like, "Oh, this will probably like this." I just wanted to feel the reverberation off of it just hitting something, and I thought, "Well, this wicker chair ain't gonna do much damage." And then the beak or snout of this thing kind of snapped off, and I felt really bad. But it's my birthday.
What?
In a
It
month.
was not your. Wow.
It's okay, Josh. I forgive you.
Thanks, man. I'm really sorry.
Insane.
It's okay.
I'm really sorry, but also
Luckily, it was a really clean break. I just need to get some super glue, and we're all
I'm
good.
just surprised that you want this thing
Are
so
you
bad.
It's awesome.
surprised that I won the little troll guy, and I was so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
I gave up a fucking Mansky roll to last minute participate in this thing, and I really shouldn't have done that. I didn't know though that fucking whatchamacallit,
White elephant.
not white elephant, Secret Santas and gift auctions were so fun because I've never seen one.
Yeah,
of those
Secret
happen.
Santas are amazing, and this is our first time doing a gift auction,
Yeah.
and it was.
I still love your hustle sign. It's so
It's
awesome.
In White Elephant got a tiny neon sign that
In
says
the
hustle.
auction, you
That says
In the
hustle.
Was it not? Oh, I guess it wasn't White Elephant.
White elephant just
I hate
White
white
elephant, we
elephants.
banned it because it
Okay.
led to too much sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
people talking about White Elephant, so I assumed.
Yeah, it's like you get to have your cake and you can't eat it. That's what white elephant
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it
Well,
really is.
how are you doing, Hayden, dealing with the loss of your?
Look, I've cried
Your beloved
enough.
object.
Enough tears have been shed for that object.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine.
You know, I wasn't done talking about my week.
I think you were.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm fucking kidding. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
No, you're so good. You just take and you take and you take. All right. No, I'm feeling fine. I've been really, really fucking busy for a bunch of stuff. We had a holiday party at work that I was bartending last night, and I got home at like 3 a.m. It was rough. It was a long night. Good stuff. And I got I've been super flimmy for like 2 days, to the point where I feel like I'm breathing through a filter. Yesterday, throughout most of the day, I could inhale and feel something diggling around in my lungs.
All right,
you're gonna die, dude. You said diggling.
Oh my god! Don't open any packages in the mail after our audience has to hear that.
Yeah. But no, if you hear me cough, don't say anything about it. All right, do not talk about it in the comments. Don't comment about my cough.
Yet.
But comment about my cough. Clayton, how are you?
I'm here. Hey, here's something. Here's some piece of good news in my life. God, there's so many good things in my life. But I may finally have a good job again.
Yes!
Whoa! I haven't even heard about
nothing
this.
official yet. Nothing even close. But there's something that looks like it could be good for me. And if I do get it, it looks like it would be even better for me than the job that disappeared in the midst of this podcast.
Have you started interviewing?
I do not. I have not interviewed yet.
Okay.
But there, I'll explain everything after the fact.
Yeah.
But it looks good for old Clayton.
Hell yeah,
Today
dude.
at my job, I brought a guy his 6-ounce steak that he ordered, and he was like, "Does this look 6 ounces to you?" And I said, "Let me get this out of your way, sir." And took it back immediately. And then apparently my manager went over and got in a fight with him.
Oh my god.
And everybody was yelling.
That was a brawl?
Yeah, there was a full brawl. He smashed a salad bowl over his head. And then that guy left his fucking card here. And I had the Green Goblin talking to me in my head like, buy a car, buy a fucking car. He was also part of we have this thing at our restaurant that's like, it's a big corporate chain that people can become members of the chain that then they can get discounts at anything that we own, which there's a lot of restaurants that are under that and hotels and casinos and stuff. And he had a card that you get money on the card depending on how much money you lose when you gamble at one of our casinos. So this guy was obviously wealthy.
Whoa.
Did he tip?
No.
America is a fucking hellhole.
Yeah.
What the
I'm so excited to be done serving. This podcast will well be done by then. I'm gonna talk about this. When I decided that I didn't want to, when I told them that I couldn't work Thanksgiving, they were like, "Okay, but that means that you have to work Christmas morning." And I was like, "Okay," and just made the decision in my head that I will not be there on Christmas morning.
Nope.
So, this job, whatever happens with the rest of my employment, I will not be at this job longer than a week.
Who's going to that kind of restaurant on Christmas morning?
Fucking nobody.
What the
Surely,
hell?
right? Nobody's going to be there. They have 7 of us
maybe-
on the schedule.
Maybe lunch or dinner, but Christmas morning. That's so stupid.
Why aren't restaurants closed Christmas morning?
Money.
Most of them are. Most restaurants are closed Christmas. It's
insane it's a
insane
steakhouse.
that we're not.
Yeah, it's a steakhouse.
Who goes to
It's a
steakhouse
steakhouse
in the
in the morning. We don't have breakfast.
No, Starbucks is they do it so they think they can get money on those hours.
Well, Starbucks at least kind of makes sense because people still get
Yeah,
coffee.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's they can make money if they stay open,
Not this place.
No.
Not this place.
Anyway.
Let's burn this
Anyway.
place down. Christmas morning.
Let's get out of the real world.
Well,
Never mind. Let's go back to the real world.
well, sort of in the real world, but
Take one step into the fake world.
In the real world, this is kind of fucking. I'm just really excited to talk about this. Chainsaw Man's getting a movie, baby.
I gotta say this. The fact that they are putting this arc, which is very good, into a movie
It's troubling.
means that it will be missing stuff for how long this arc is. It's not huge or anything.
Mm.
I'm begging y'all to read it.
I
I just think as well, Chainsaw Man season 1, I think you're getting a better, even how good season 1 is, I think you'll be getting a better experience if you read it, because so much of it was meant to be seen on the page. There's so many fun things you miss out on in the anime too. I think read it and then watch
I'm not
it.
saying we can't read it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'm gonna be watching that
Exactly.
fucking thing in theaters.
And you better bet your goddamn bottom dollar boots that I'm gonna be there too.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm pumped about it. I'm just
I'll
saying.
watch it in time.
Yay.
You'll watch season 1 in time.
I'll watch season 1 and read
And
it in season 1
Read
in
the
time.
whole
I
manga.
want to
I read it
read-
in 2 days.
I want to read it, but I've kind of been reading some other stuff lately.
What?
We'll talk
Well,
about
not
that.
JoJo, because we've been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You
JoJo's
said
Bizarre
it so
Adventure
mad.
is a franchise that recently got referenced in the most overrated anime of today.
Oh, wow.
it's
It's
called-
coming out swinging.
It's called
huh?
Jujutsu Kaisen. I've decided.
You're crazy. I'm not like disagreeing with your opinion, but I could tell you have something. You have a look in your eye today, and
Yeah, it's called varicose veins because I'm tired. But
Whoa.
here's the thing. If you enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen, like I guess everyone their fucking mother does,
Like me and Hayden
like
Hartrick
yeah,
here do.
like two of the
Yeah.
members of the podcast
We watch
here.
it every Thursday when it comes out, and we scream
literally-
and we get
We watch
so
it like the
giddy.
Super Bowl. Hayden and I- you've seen the most recent episode, Josh?
Yes.
The moment where a person basically high fives another character, Hayden and I literally, it was like a solid 5-second, like,
Wait, which?
yeah, baby.
Oh, you haven't watched the most recent
Who
episode.
high
then.
fives? Who? I have.
It's not a high five. Toto
Yeah. Who does he have?
slaps the hand of
Yeah, that
another
shit was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. Lots of cool stuff about this anime. I'm dropping after season 2. I'm at my fucking limit with
It
it.
sounds like it's not made for you.
It's
Yeah.
it was like I'm just a little over it, but I think that Mappa's doing a great job. It's not them. It's you know who it is. All you listening
if
right
we
now.
don't talk about JoJo right
I was
now-
about to
Yeah.
talk about JoJo.
Okay.
Don't act like we brought Jujutsu Kaisen up.
Everyone here just has a gun at my head.
Yeah, make it happen. Go.
Clayton, you watched four episodes of JoJo's
4
Bizarre Adventure in
episodes
the
of
past 2
JoJo's
weeks.
Bizarre Adventure.
I think we watch. No, we didn't watch these together at all.
No.
It was the Rohan Adventure arc
Rohan
with
Kishibe's
Koichi.
big, beautiful, grand old time.
Yeah. Then you watched
Shogetchi's Harvest.
Getchi's
Boo,
Harvest.
boo.
Yay.
Yay. And then you watched the Cinderella episode. So
Yes.
why don't we just overall thoughts, impressions,
Thoughts
and
and
then
prayers.
thoughts and prayers.
This, to me, feels like the least, focused batch of JoJo's episodes I think that we have watched in the entirety of this podcast.
Whoa.
Not that that's necessarily a bad thing.
That's kind of exactly how you should be feeling right now.
Yeah, it did just make me feel like I'm ready to get into what the season's about, because these 3 episodes, I had fun with some of them. I had fun with 2 of these arcs, and I do just need to get to the serial killer guy, because I'm starting to get a little bit like, why are we watching this? Especially with, and spoiler alert about how I feel about things, the Cinderella episode, I was just like, yeah, all right.
I cannot wait for you to watch this next batch because you're
All
going
right.
to be eating your fucking words. That's
Nope.
all I'm saying.
I ain't eating nothing. I'm not hungry right now.
So, what's his name? Rohan.
Rohan Kishibe.
Rohan Joestar. So he goes
Mm-hmm.
down and out.
Spoiler, Josh. shut
No,
up.
no, it's not. It's not. It's not.
He takes Koichi down an alley. He sees dog shit. I really thought, just knowing Rohan, I thought he was going to do the
Oh
Charlie
my
Day
God.
thing and just be like, oh, look, dog shit, and then step in it. Because he's just such a freak like that. I thought he was going to be like, I need an experience.
I need to write I have a character who's gonna step in dog shit, so I need to know what it'll feel like.
Yes, I need to know what
Reality.
emotion.
You know what
courses
sound it
through.
makes.
Yeah.
And so they go down an alley, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we're in an alley." And then
Yep. And we can't get out.
Koichi. Speaking of Koichi, that's the name of the main character in Godzilla -1,
Oh.
Oh.
the best monster movie ever made.
Is it
I
the
gotta
same
say.
character?
Whoa.
No, a
Oh.
very different guy. He flies a plane. And so Koichi sends reverb up into the sky, and then he's like, oh, reverb has hit. Sorry, echoes.
Yeah.
They just in the translation.
That's a good thing you caught that.
Um,
That's a good thing.
and he's like, wait, echoes is hitting the ceiling, and Rohan's like, no, man, he's hitting the floor. And apparently, it's like ghost magic has made echoes fly the opposite direction that Koichi wanted. And so they're trapped in this alleyway, and then a little girl walks up to them, and Rohan immediately is like, die, woman, and throws this stand. We get to see for the first time Rohan's little stand come out. He goes,
Yeah.
and it draws a cool guy, and the guy comes and makes her asleep. And she's the girl that I've been just explaining the plot of
Yeah,
this
you
episode.
Well, here's what's happening, right? I'm trying to give you room to talk, and then Hayden and Adriana are barely remembering what's going on because they did not.
No, I'm enthralled. I know this.
I remember.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, okay.
What? I'm what, Josh?
But did you watch these?
I did not watch these.
Okay.
She's the girl from the story where the dog licks your hand.
See, I'd never
Yeah.
heard of this story until I guess I saw these episodes.
Yeah, if we figured out if that was a story. That's a story well before the JoJo.
Surely.
Yes, right, Josh? Admit it.
Clayton knows about it at least. I didn't know it.
Yeah, I grew up with that story.
Really?
I
Me
as
remember
well.
People here saying that.
I
Never
just,
heard of it.
I just recently saw a clip of a movie where some guys play poker, and the one guy is like betting everything when he hasn't looked at his cards yet.
Uh-huh.
So that's definitely, I don't know what movie it was, but I was like, oh, I might have mentioned that before on this.
Were you just
I
watching
believe
me
so.
play poker?
Yeah. So I was like, there's all these little stories that we probably don't know about, or that some of us don't know
Yeah.
about.
Rocky's not original.
Coming from the man that says
Is-
everything is a JoJo reference.
Everything is a reference, I think.
That's true. In life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originality
Everything's derivative.
is for people with poor memories.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Put that on
Put
Tumblr.
that on a. Put that on an American Horror Story font T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Some interesting things about this alley that you
Yeah?
learned, right? It's
Mailbox.
It's got a mailbox. It's the portal to the afterlife.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Dead children always going through there because of
Yeah.
Mr. Kira.
and there is also only one way to get out of that alleyway.
Fly.
Well, no, that didn't work.
You have to walk out of it and don't even look back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like Orpheus and Eurydice.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And
Rohan's
Koichi fucks
Orpheus
it up
and Koichi's
immediately.
Yeah.
He hears her voice. Her voice says, right, like, "Hey, it's over now. You can turn around." Which I guess the darkness demon is like evolving. I assume there's going to be some explanation of what's going on with that thing, because it's like such a specific thing to set up of like what this afterlife monster is. So I assume, and especially the fact that she's like, "Oh, it's evolving."
She said that?
Well, because she didn't say, like, I don't know if she said the words "it's evolving," but she was like, "Wait, what the fuck? I didn't know it could do that. It doesn't usually do that."
After what happened?
After it
After
imitates her voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That-
it's just full of secrets, I think.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they go away, and Rohan is growing on me. He's a little asshole. He's a
He
fucking.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's right at the end of this episode, because we get her whole backstory. She's like, Kira got her.
Licked her hand.
And I really enjoyed that Rohan was. They were doing this kind of thing where he was like, very outwardly, he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna. I'm not going to help people just because they need help. But then actually through his actions, you were saying like, oh, wait, no, he is going to help. And that's pretty cool. What I did not care for, and maybe this will become something that is better, but at the end of the episode, we learned that he was a baby and he knew this girl. What's her name again? Raimi. That he knew Raimi. When she would like babysit him, and he was in the house when Kira killed her, and she saved him. And I to me, it immediately made like the Rohan helping arc a little bit less compelling. And I'm hoping, especially with it just being like tacked on at the end here, I'm hoping that there is a good reason for it.
You didn't like that he was less invested, like his investment level didn't match with his relevance to Raimi's story. Is that what you're...
I liked his investment level. I think up until then, I really thought it was compelling that he was choosing to like investigate this murder, even though he didn't have personal stake. And I think to me, it was a little bit cheap to tag on at the very end, like something where it's like, oh, actually, this is like super important to you.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like he didn't know that, right?
Yeah, no,
he didn't know that.
Well, it doesn't. Do you feel like it really affects his decision ultimately to be?
No, which is what I think
narratively, because what I'm saying is like he still made that decision even not knowing his involvement in it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not what you're saying. You're saying narratively.
I don't have an issue with him making that decision. I just think at the end, after he's already made his decision and gone through the arc, it's kind of irrelevant that he was in the house. And so to me, it just seemed kind of like cheap. It seemed like it was done more for the audience and less for the characters.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred a Rohan that was finding it in himself to help these kids rather than like after the fact be faced with this like guilt and feel like he owes them something. I just really liked the arc that they were setting up, and I don't love the direction that it took at the end.
See. The way I took... Sorry.
Go ahead.
The way I took it when I first watched it was like, oh, this is just another way that that stand users are connected to all this crazy business. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Like, oh wow, it's what a coincidence, but like at the same time, not a coincidence. How these characters are like, you know.
Well, no one. I mean, Raimi isn't a stand user.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's not the reason he made that choice.
I think the way it's intended. Or at least, I don't know, the way I took it was like, Rohan, you're here kind of not being very clear about what your intentions are. You're over here kind of trying to put on this selfish facade for whatever fucking reason, because you're annoying. But guess what? This could have happened to you. It happened to your neighbor and babysitter. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe that puts things in perspective. Like, there's other little children unwittingly who are in danger of being a victim of a little guy named Kira, who you were introduced to at the end of this episode.
Yes. It was an interesting scene. We didn't learn a whole lot that we didn't already know, which is like he's got his little hands. I think the most interesting thing about it, and so far just the most interesting thing about Kira, is it's like we've spent so much time in Morioh and around these characters and meeting these people, and so to learn that Kira is just some guy who lives there and seeing that he looks, obviously there's like something in the way his face is drawn where it's like this guy's a little bit like he's like dead behind the eyes a little bit, but for the most part he just looks like a normal guy that could so easily just fit in. It's like how do they go about solving this? What are they gonna do? This whole time they could be fucking bumping into him on the street, getting stabbed in the throat. That would be scary.
Yeah, that would be really scary. I wonder if we're gonna learn anything about him. I don't know.
They actually don't ever talk.
Probably not.
I mean, I don't know.
I never want to see that guy again.
Raimi kind of leaves them with a little mission, so to speak, which isn't, I don't think, mentioned much in the next episodes you saw, but I don't know. Kind of, do you feel like in that way it also kind of how you must say stirred a little bit of a direction for the plot?
Yes, it felt like, and of course the following 2 episodes are not related at all, but it did feel like it was like, I really enjoy Raimi and her coming in and being like, hey, there's a problem that needs to be solved. I think she was really compelling, and I also think that this was just a great way to like introduce the characters to the mystery that we've kind of been in on. Yeah, I'm super pumped to start getting into Kira stuff.
How do you feel about just there being like a ghost, like just a ghost? Real?
It honestly didn't feel too crazy. At first, I was like, "There's a ghost," and then I was like, "I guess we've had like vampires and everything.
Exactly.
It feels like if you're doing small town with murderer, it's like Ghost is the perfect version of a vampire for that."
Yeah.
Also, now that I gotta say, I watched that episode. I watched the episode with Raimi, and just immediately after getting like the Kira set up and like kind of getting a feel for the tone of the mystery. Next episode, beginning of Shigechi's Harvest, when the fucking intro plays. Goddamn, do I like this intro? And I'm so in on it. I really like it.
Yeah.
Chase, you're talking about, right?
Chase.
Yeah. He's so fucking good.
What exactly changed your feelings? Just knowing Shigechi now and seeing...
Nothing to do with Shigechi. It's from Raimi and
the
her...
vibes of, like...
Just being like...
This guy.
Yeah. No, like, getting a feel for, like, where we're at emotionally going forward. Like, killer lurking in a town, killing children. And to an extent, obviously I don't like this aspect, but like Rohan's past being haunted by like this murderer and stuff. The vibes were all there in the intro, and I loved it. I think as well it will probably only get better as it goes on for me.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So,
go ahead.
Shigechi?
Go ahead.
Shigechi is a little creature.
He's a little creature.
Hayden doesn't like Shigechi.
I fucking
Hayden
hate
hates
Shigechi so much.
Maybe if you rewatch the episode.
I'm gonna give him another fair shot, but I fucking hate this guy. This kid fucking sucks.
Was it on the podcast that I talked about my opinions of his character design just from what I'd seen of him?
Yeah.
You just said that you did not like the look of
I
this
was
fucking guy.
I did not like the look of him. I was not excited to see him. Within 30 seconds of meeting his character, I was head over heels for this guy. I love him.
Absolutely predicted this. Just
I heard.
Like because you're like, what was it when you were talking about Ebony Devil at the first, and you were like, I just like guys are like little freaks and they're just like it's weird and I was like, okay, then I know where he stands on Shigechi. Now. But I'm glad that you did derive enjoyment from those episodes, as so many people did not get the pleasure.
I loved it. There's this scene. I think I've talked to a couple of you about this, but there's so many great comedy moments with Shigechi. He's just very funny. There's a part where Josuke and oh man, it's been so long since what's Josuke's friend's name? Yasu. Where they're talking to Shigechi, and Josuke's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a plan, and we're going to make a business. It's all about business, baby. And Shigechi goes, business? Is it like this? And Josuke just says, no, that's your elbow. What business is? And he just like moves right by it. It's like such a funny line. And Shigechi just was such a treat. Finding out that he is a middle schooler and not like an adult troll definitely helped soften things for me.
He just has cystic acne on his skull.
He really annoyed me. Like just like his role in the in that plot just really annoyed me because
Yeah.
I was just putting myself in Josuke's shoes.
Same.
I would want to like punch this kid across
It is.
the
Yeah.
earth.
It
Like,
is annoying for sure, but also I think I was so far, I bought into him so much early on that when it got because he's so sweet this whole time, he's just like this little darling angel, and then they go and he finally gets some money, and the first thing he does is he's like, okay, I have money now, and he's like, he like gets a scowl on his face, and he's like, Hey, Toots, get your fat ass over here. I'm fucking rich. He like immediately turns into like the worst guy ever, and
Yeah.
it's so funny.
money changed him.
Money changed
Yeah.
him.
How do you feel
Yeah.
about Harvest, the stand? I don't know if you have you. Did you
Um,
already talk about Harvest? I'm tripping right now.
On the podcast?
Yeah.
No.
How do you feel about Harvest?
It's interesting. It works well for this. I don't. It's very middling for me. Of all the like part 4 stands we've met so far, I think this is just one of the least interesting ones to me. If this was a part 3 stand, I would be like, this is cool, I guess.
I like how it can inject things into your bloodstream and get
Yes.
you drunk.
Yeah.
Apparently, 'cause that's what he does to Josuke
Yeah.
and the other guy.
Which why does he even know how to do that?
Right.
I don't know.
But it's very funny. Their fight with him is very funny. They get drunk. There's a great moment where Harvest like pulls the screws out of the thing and they fall, and Josuke repairs it so they come flying up and they do JoJo pose, but they're drunk.
So they're wobbly.
crazy.
Can you imagine if like Josuke accidentally lets it slip like to his mom or something, like that he knows what it's like to be drunk or something, and he was like, "No, I swear, some little
It was a
was an
stand
accident.
attack.
injected alcohol
So-
into my bloodstream."
Was that their first time being drunk?
Well, I don't know.
Whoa.
That we know of.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that we
Okuyasu's
know
a
of.
little. He's a riff-raff. He doesn't.
Sure.
He's surely been
I
out
don't
there
know, dude.
drinking.
I don't know. Josuke seems like he wouldn't be too like, I don't know. He doesn't seem like a
Josuke is a fucking virgin, dude.
okay.
Chill the hell out. All right.
Yeah.
But they also punched this middle schooler on the face a couple times, which I think is
on the
funny.
face.
It's the best part. Him getting punched.
I thought that was quite funny because there's also Josuke as well is like so many times when Okuyasu's like, I eat both of them are like, oh, we're gonna fucking kill this kid, and then Josuke goes, hold on. He's in middle school. He's
Yeah.
in middle school, and it is understandable. We know that money changes people, and he just needs to learn. He just needs to learn right now. We need to make this a teaching moment, and so I really enjoyed that they like couldn't punch their way out of this.
Yeah.
They were like trying to fix this kid too, which was very good.
I really like about episodes like these how you see Josuke and Okuyasu sharing brain cells, essentially, where they really are like two peas in a pod. They've already just completely hit it off. And Josuke has a little grift side to him. He's got a little money making scheme
Well,
side to him.
that's his Joseph showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, at the beginning of this episode, we get a very funny bit where Josuke is at a bank, and he's like, he like tries to make a withdrawal, and they're like, "Here, you have 27 yen," and he's like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "I can't believe it! I can't believe I'm broke because of that old man."
Yeah.
And then he reveals that Joseph paid him back the money, and then he spent it all like the next day, which is funny. To Josuke, I would have imagined him to be more frugal. We just learned that he had all that big saving,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he lost all the money, and it's his own fault.
Maybe it was
now.
just the idea of having all of it so fast.
Yes.
Maybe now he's like, oh well, I have a rich dad now. Maybe this won't come back to haunt me.
And so now they have like 1,000,000 yen each, right? They're like rich.
they're a little rich. Yeah. Although I mean, is Josuke just gonna spend it all in one place again?
Maybe.
I don't fucking know. Josuke is a fiend.
Whoa.
I was trying to remember what
I
I was
didn't
going to
know
say.
that.
I really
Yeah,
like the moment where he uses Crazy Diamond to make sure that the I think he changes the expiration date on one of the lotto tickets that he has in front of the guys in front of that.
The guy checks it and realizes they found it in the trash, and that it would not be illegal for them to redeem it if they were not actually the ones that bought it. And so he's calling the actual owner, and then Josuke uses Crazy Diamond to punch the penciling that the guy wrote his name on the back of the ticket off and then fix it to be somebody else.
Yeah. I like that he has this super powerful stand that he's using to play the lotto.
Uh-huh.
It's really
I mean, I feel like if anybody gets a stand, the first thing you should do with it is make yourself financially stable.
I think
Yeah.
Like with any stand, you just use that, make some money, and then go off and do whatever the fuck you want.
Because at the very least, you've got telekinesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in a cruel world, and everyone who has the idea of like what would it be like if I had superpowers, everyone's first thought is, well, how do I make a living off of this? How do I make a quick living, get rich quick scheme out of this?
Uh-huh. Oh, by the way, smash Heaven's Door. And
The little guy.
Little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm not
He's
like
got a
fiending
cool
for
hat.
it. Maybe, I gotta be honest. Maybe it's just because this
Slim
is the first
pickings.
one that is like technically over the line of like fuckable, like possibly. Where it's like, okay, yeah, this is like a
This is
humanoid.
plausible.
Yeah, I could
That's
see it
so
happening.
funny.
And pass on Harvest.
and Cinderella.
But I would let them get me a bunch of stuff.
Talk about Cinderella a
Cinderella.
bit.
Let's talk about Cinderella. I didn't like this episode very much.
No.
That's fine. It was what it was. It didn't seem. It made me like the girl a lot more. I don't like Koichi anymore, I have to say.
It's kind of just,
That's
it's
not
such
true,
an
that's not true.
insane thing that is how their arc continues.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, why Koichi? Like what? I mean, it also, the characterization there, not that I don't think this is what Araki intended, but the way it comes across to me is Koichi found her sexier than usual one day and was like, you know what? Actually, I am in love with her. It's just because he was not into her romantically
What makes you think it was solely based on appearance, considering this is the work of like a stand power?
That's true. I guess technically then not just finding her sexy one day, but also just like he had one good date with her, but that date was also magically influenced. And so it makes the whole situation feel weird. And maybe it is just going to be that like Koichi then has to realize he like snaps out of it later. I don't know what's in store for these guys.
I like to think that Koichi liked Yukiko when she wasn't kidnapping and wasn't being, going over the wall with it.
But the thing is,
she did make him pee-pee his pants.
No,
He doesn't-
That's insane.
this is the second, this is the first time she appeared since then, and has done
Yes.
nothing to show that she's
Yeah.
not gonna kidnap him again.
But he has moments of hesitation.
Could y'all ever date someone if before you started dating you pee-peed yourself in front of them?
Yeah.
Well, just that,
Wait,
or
yes.
they kidnapped you and made you do that.
Just you pee-peed yourself.
I mean,
feel
if they're
like-
willing to, if they have room in their heart for me after that.
Under really specific circumstances, I feel like yes, it's possible.
I piss in front of everybody I go on a first date with.
But if you saw somebody pee themselves, how much does that influence whether you're going to date
It
somebody?
really
Just
depends.
take a shower. I don't know. Just take. I don't.
Because,
If
yeah, it
I
depends on how they
like
react
you, if I like you
afterwards.
as a person and you make a mistake, I'm not
No,
gonna.
like, I'm thinking-
Clayton, Jesus Christ.
when I say really specific circumstances, I'm saying like they got hit by a car, and then, yeah, you could piss your pants a little if you just got hit by
Sure.
a car.
Hey, if
You
you,
know?
But
if
no,
someone,
like they
if some-
couldn't make it to the bathroom in time and they pissed
Okay,
themselves.
then probably. Yeah.
What you
What if
get
they
the
get
ick
really-
from? Just they make.
I get the ick from piss. Yes, yes, actually.
From
It's happening.
pissing
Pissing
yourself?
yes.
It
But it's-
doesn't happen.
it's one
I'll
time.
say that.
Guys, okay,
it doesn't
there's
happen.
a very clear separation of this room right now, and it's actually insane, but also makes so much sense.
I genuinely, like, you said it happens. When's the last time anybody at this table pissed themselves?
Exactly.
True,
This
but-
is what I'm saying. Okay.
Exactly. No,
didn't answer the
no,
question.
No,
for me-
I am on the same train of thought. It's like it happens so rare. This was a fluke. I caught you in the
Or
the
this
unluckiest
is
day
the
of your life.
rare kind of person that
Yes.
pisses themselves.
Then I'll find that out later.
We're talking
You
about-
found it out now.
No, this was
One
one time.
One time.
You guys, would you give? Okay, you're giving them the benefit of doubt on an insane level. You're
Yes.
saying. You're
They're a
saying,
human being.
Dude, there's so many ways someone could just not make it to the bathroom.
Okay. But like, what if?
Clay,
what if?
would you
What if
not-
they? What if? Okay. What if they react? Like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. That's all they say.
And then you have to see them in the big oversized T-shirt like Koichi.
If I'm already smitten by this person, it's gonna take more than that. More one mistake for me to be
Like-
all
I'm
right,
saying
this is off the
if they
table.
handle it so casually
Yeah.
that they're
If
like,
they just go,
oh, man.
oh my
They
god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I'll forget. Like it. That's a better reaction.
Yeah,
than
if they go-
being
no,
like,
it's not.
Hold on.
Also, okay, hold on.
Does someone have to grovel
No,
for
no,
you?
no. I'm just saying, no, it's not. If it's a casual reaction like that, that
You're like,
indicates.
"God
that,
damn it.
That indicates
Rats."
exactly not this style. Like,
Yeah.
like
Okay, that's different. That's not
That's
what
so
you did.
different.
That's not
No,
what you did.
but-
You had a genuine.
But
Oh,
that's what it indicates.
Oh, blast.
Yeah. That's what it indicates. If they don't say call 911.
Are you fucking kidding me? For me, it's like
No.
no,
Is it-
shut up. For me, it's like if they go happens, then yeah, I'm gonna ask questions.
Robert, I need to tell you, anything below call 911 is basically equivalent to saying, "Oh snap, I can't." You know,
No.
yes.
If they go, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
That's not enough.
hey,
that's not
What do you
enough
mean?
surprise.
You don't know what's
But
going on.
is it not going to change? Like, are you not going to have a bit of a hard time, like, still being interested in somebody after that?
I've
Like,
seen people. I love throw up. I don't care.
That's
But you
that
already
is
were in
such an
love with
understandable
them.
thing.
You were already in love with them, and throwing up is way more of an involuntary thing than peeing
Yeah.
your pants.
Dude, if someone voluntarily peed themselves,
No,
that's
I'm not
one
saying
thing.
that voluntarily. I'm not saying.
Okay,
They
conversely,
look at you and they're like, check this out.
Conversely, though, if someone got hit by a bus,
Uh-huh.
I would not be into them anymore. That's I do agree there.
That would give you
If someone got hit by a bus, I'd be like, no, that's embarrassing, and I cannot get over this.
Oh my god.
That's what you sound like right now.
No, I'm saying if they did get hit by a bus, then I would be okay dating
I would
them.
need to know the circumstances of missing, of not getting to the toilet. In time.
Okay, so y'all are on a drive, right? And they're like, I really need to pee. And you're like, should I stop? And they're like, I think I can make it. And you're pulling up to the house, and like right as you're parking, they're like, oh fuck.
Wait, do your impression of them pissing
like-
themselves again?
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. I'm so sorry. I just fucking pissed my
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd forgive them. All right.
No, if it's in my car, I mean, that's a different story.
But if
There's circumstances.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
If they were that negligent to where like, oh,
okay,
I'll
so
risk,
you
I'll
just care
risk-
about the property, Dan.
No, I care about the principle of like, hey, you didn't even think you risked pissing all over my seat, but also it's like, were there other places that we could have stopped to piss?
Okay,
like,
wait.
you
I
know.
have. Okay, take out all of the context. You don't know anything about this person. They invite you. You're like, you
And I'm-
you go on one date with them. They invite you to like a show that they're gonna be in, like they're in a band or like whatever. They're gonna be a little performance or whatever, right? They're one of the people on stage. You're in the audience.
This is
You
so
haven't seen them
specific.
since your first date, right? And you notice that they're kind of like they're kind of like shifting the weight around, like doing the potty dance on stage, and you can tell that they're holding it, right?
Okay.
And then
Is this happening to you?
no, but and then you notice they don't say anything. You notice that they piss their pants in front of everyone.
Okay. See, this is a whole different scenario
How?
now.
Okay, first of all, how into them am I?
It was a great first date.
Like a great first
Yeah,
date?
sure, but like not like
I'll talk with him about it and we'll see. That's pretty weird.
yeah, but
But
you
like-
don't have any context. You just know that this person allowed that to happen.
Listen, I'm someone who believes in second chances, and if I'm like not super into it, if I wasn't into the date, then yeah, I'll
I
probably.
thought you meant if I wasn't into piss.
No.
Real men forgive women's piss.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
So true.
Here's the thing. We
What's
can
up?
talk about this all day. We can talk about this on our other podcast.
I can't believe
That's
Yeah.
true.
Okay.
Piss
Done
podcast
this.
coming this
Oh my
July.
God.
Yeah,
We're
First
just
Date
talking
Piss
about
podcast. Don't miss it.
True.
We're 150 episodes in.
True.
Clayton, final thoughts on Cinderella. Okay, we had her stand comes out. She's selling beauty to poor Yukiko. It doesn't even end up mattering in the end because Koichi knows what her true face is like and likes her for who she is.
Well, but he didn't quite, right? Because
I don't know.
He got the face wrong.
He didn't. There was no face to get right. Her face wasn't in there.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
he
so
knows
when-
well enough to know that it wasn't there.
No, he did. He didn't know that.
Yeah, he just grabbed
It's
one.
resolved because
Oh,
Koichi
yeah.
says, "Hey, if this does happen, I want you to take my sight. I want you to cut out my eyes
Wow.
because
Forgot about that.
I don't. If I am not able to see her face, then I don't deserve to see nothing." And so that's why Cinderella's just like, you know what? He didn't know it was the right, or that he couldn't figure it out, but their love is pure. And she kind of sits back like she's like, I was actually a good little fairy godmother all along. It's like, no, you're a psychopath.
No, yeah,
Uh-huh.
Cinderella's standard is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yukiko didn't necessarily do anything particular to earn his affections.
I think maybe maybe it's a little disappointing to find out that your special little guy is just like makes those terrible decisions.
He's a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
I'd make
And
that
she's
choice
out of
as a
his
freshman
league.
in high
She's
school.
Exactly.
She's so out of his league, and she's willing to go the extra mile for him.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is she shouldn't be attracted to him because he's a little piss boy.
We can't
So that's your
start.
whole
We can't
thesis?
start this again.
Here's the thing: she's
no,
kind of
no,
fucking
no.
clinically insane.
Yes, no, that is not how I act. But their relationship to me it does feel odd. There's been a
It is
kidnapping.
odd.
It's
yeah,
weird.
no, it is like not.
It's definitely like
Yeah.
a weird high school relationship played for kicks rather than like this supposed to be this like central compelling relationship.
No, it's
It's
not
gonna
supposed
gonna
to
affect
be.
both of them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I will
I
say
agree.
this. There's a reason why the Cinderella episode happened. It's not, and it may not be for this specific relationship, but you'll see why.
I was
eventually.
gonna say during this episode, I thought Yukako was gonna get Kira'd.
Whoa.
The tone
shit.
was very like there was like kind of a weird tone to it, and it felt a little funky that we were focusing on Yukaku.
Yeah.
And we had just had Kira set up, and I was like, "This is it. This is gonna be what gets Koichi to be like, hey, I'm no longer passively interested in this. Josuke, we have to find and get this guy."
Yeah, because it did have a
Interesting.
vibe that she was like in danger. Or
Uh
something.
huh.
Maybe,
Interesting theory.
Do you think maybe it's the fact that I think it's this episode, you probably saw Kira. You see the back of his head as he passes by the Cinderella shop.
Yes, we did see that.
Yeah, he's kind of littered throughout.
I was so dumb when I first saw that. I was like, "Are they siblings just because they're both blonde?" Oh, Cinderella and Kira. I should say that. Those two. I was like, oh, "It's him. He was
Yeah.
just there."
I would love to talk more about JoJo, but we gotta
We've
get moving.
We
got to move it.
fucking talk about One Piece.
We actually really do.
We really do. I'm really fucking excited.
What are we
Holy
thinking?
Shit. Holy shit, y'all.
Holy
Holy
shit,
fucking
y'all.
shit. This is an insane everything. So much
Yeah.
shit happened in these chapters that we were at, these 25-ish chapters. So much insane shit happened. This arc is fucking amazing.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
I'm liking it.
I will
Nice.
say
It's fine.
it's not
That's
having it's not having the same steam that it's not having the level of steam ahead that I would have expected it to
Steam
have.
ahead. What do you
Or
mean?
I don't know. It's not going at full steam ahead like I thought it would be by now. But it's very interesting. I do feel like I'm starting to kind of catch a little bit of a formula that he likes to do, that he's been employing since Alabasta or honestly since Arlong Park with like the whole flashback. Okay, I introduce a bunch of elements, then I tie it all together with a flashback, and then I move on to the next act of the story, But I really enjoy it every time he fucking does that.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Yeah, well, because every time it's a new town, basically, with history, and, like, there's no way, and it's always, like, them showing up and, like, slowly figuring out the history alongside them, but then it's like, oh, but here's the rest of it, you know, here's, like, the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah,
which,
they're always,
really
like,
cool.
very unique conflicts. Like, yeah, they all like give the flashback, but I've always just feel like the flashback just provides, you know, extra like, I guess okay. Sorry, I realized what I was saying was very dumb. That a flashback provides context for what's going on. But it's always just like, I feel like you could. It just strengthens that impact a lot, you know, of just really extending. I always feel like the flashback serves to be like, hey, this is what we're talking. Like, here's it explicitly what is going on right now.
Well, it's a
very
good
nice.
implementation of show don't tell, which is like, you've been telling us all this history this whole time, so I think it's just giving us a break from that, which is pretty effective. I don't even know where to start on.
Yeah,
I really don't.
well,
Let me look at my notes.
We can start.
Double agents.
Yeah, I was gonna say start with double agent
Dude,
shit.
holy
Shit!
shit.
The double agent reveal, the CP9 reveal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my God.
was quite the fucking.
There was-
I gotta say.
A moment, Josh, where you were talking to me about last episode's chapters, and you were like, "I really like this guy with the pigeon. I hope we get more of him." And I, being not wanting to spoil anything, I said, "Which one is that?" And so you were like, "Oh, I think his name's Lucci," and I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, he's cool." But he's
is
the bad
fucking
guy.
Cool. He's really
He's
cool,
awesome.
though. Yeah.
They are very dangerous.
They
are
sure
so
are.
Powerful.
We've seen what, only 3 or 4 of their 7 techniques.
No, 6 powers, and we've seen all 6.
What? We
What?
have
Yeah.
We've seen Iron Body.
Iron Body.
Finger Pistol.
finger pistol,
Moonwalk,
moonwalk,
Shave.
shave. What was
paper
shave?
art.
Paper art.
Shave is when they move really fast.
Okay.
Paper art is when it's only used once. I think it's
Bluno uses it to dodge a bunch of Luffy's Gatling guns. He moves like a paper. Goes.
That's right. He goes.
and then Tempest kick.
Tempest
Yes.
kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy, and that wasn't even like any of their like that was just like what they learned. So
Yeah.
then Lucci turns into a fucking leopard
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
That's
That was
the
insane.
They all have-
basics,
they all
and
have
each of them have their own
devil
sauce.
fruit.
Yeah,
They all have their own fucking-
sauce.
They're all fucking devil fruits
Are
on
they
top of
all?
these 6
We don't
powers.
know.
We don't
well,
know if they're all.
at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
At least 2. Well, no, I think
No, the only the cat fruit has been revealed so far,
no,
right?
no.
Bluno's door
Door
fruit
fruit has been
Oh,
door
my
fruit.
God.
Oh, I forgot
Which
about
is
that.
awesome. Yeah.
Also,
That's
doesn't
really
Kaku have the steel? It's something that he. At some point, they get trapped in these iron.
Oh, I thought those were just weapons.
That was.
Oh, the
Lucci.
staples.
The
That was-
staples.
Yeah,
that
that's
was-
not a devil fruit.
Okay.
That was
Um,
Lucci doing that.
They're shipbuilders. That was just something they had on them.
And what about Khalifa? Does she have anything?
We just know she's got
um,
the whip right now.
She got that
Yeah,
whip.
she's got the like spiky thorn whip thing.
She looks so cool in her masquerade
I
gear.
loved the what was it, bison, like
Mm-hmm.
that costume. Oh my god! And especially when it like zoomed in on its eyes. When it was
Yeah,
like,
and you could see his eyes underneath
was
it.
Really, really cool.
I got to
Yeah.
reread about half of these chunk of chapters, and there were a couple of really cool moments. Like in that, there was a joke that only like lands when you reread it. When they're all like under the staples, Paulie says to Luffy, "You really think?" Or what is it? Oh, let me find my note. But it's they're under the staples, and Paulie says, "You think I'm gonna let Mr. Iceberg be killed by a bunch of idiots nobody knows from who knows where?" And then like 5 pages later, it's revealed that it's his best friends trying to kill his boss.
Oh my god!
When I was rereading that, I fucking lost it. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
It's little things like that. Like you talk about how much like Oda knows from the very beginning, especially when you like look back and you know that like you see the nose guy jumping
Kaku.
around and Kaku, and he's like jumping around and you're like, oh, that must be some like fun power
Yeah.
he has.
Yeah.
He's
It's
a
like no,
moonwalk.
all they can do, they can
I
all do
think.
that.
Yeah.
Also, when it was revealed Kanku was an agent, I was like, maybe the ship is okay.
And then
Nope.
they confirmed.
They're
yeah.
shipwrights,
And
man.
then-
They're real
yeah,
shipwrights.
because Zoro's like,
Usopp saw it. Go ahead.
no, you had.
But just he was. That scene was.
He knew the whole time.
That's yeah.
He knew about the keel, and when he gets thrown into the
And he
thrown
had
in the
to
water,
look at when he
he had to look at it. And he closes his eyes.
That
It's so
was-
dramatic. There
oh
was
my
already a
God.
steel bandage on it because he'd already tried taking care
Also,
of it.
what the fuck? The merry-go fixed the merry-go. Is that actually real, guys?
I mean,
is that real?
I don't
know.
I think so.
Do you guys think that's real?
I don't know why he would introduce that whole Balfen. What the fuck is it called?
I don't know why I'm gonna. It's some German. It's like the Klafouterman or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I wrote
That
it
is
down.
apparently the spirit of the ship, and since they've been so kind to the Mary, it wants to help them out and help them get to the next shore, even if there was no way
That's
that it would get them to another one after.
Klabauterman.
Klabauterman.
Yeah.
Klabauterman.
I think that was.
That was real.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I mean, like, with One Piece, it's like it feels like something that would fit into this world so far. Like we're
Yeah.
starting to take steps into larger and larger things. There is this whole thing of like, I don't know, because it's the first time we've had something that's like explicitly supernatural,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't know, but we have stuff already that's like hasn't been explained. Like Mantra still, we don't know what the fuck that is.
I honestly
That's true.
don't. I would say I don't believe that it's real if I wasn't like, what the fuck else would it be? Like, who else would it be? That like I just have, you know what I mean? I'm like completely at a loss for anyone else who could have like gone to Skypiea with them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who knew? So yeah, sure, why not?
I'm definitely glad that we saw the flashback to Klabauterman actually fixing the Going Merry. And just getting that answer, because I was literally wondering that today. I was like,
Yeah.
man, when the fuck are they gonna tell us what happened? But they did. It was very nice.
That whole the Usopp and Franky in the little
That was a great
shack
scene.
was just such a wonderful scene.
And they
Frankie-
were like crying for it. Was they were so touched by his
Yeah.
story.
Even though they were the ones that like beat the shit out of him and caused it.
Yeah.
Frankie really grew on me.
Oh
I
my
mean, I
God,
knew he
Franky has
would.
grown on me so much.
I knew he would, but Frankie has he has such a story,
Uh-huh.
and he's clearly. I mean, he's a little annoying with just how fucking reckless he is, but it just seems like I mean, there's a lot of characters we know here that are lovable but reckless.
I mean,
He's a fucking cyborg.
Yeah.
he made himself a
He
cyborg.
made himself a
He made
cyborg.
which
himself
is
a cyborg.
awesome.
Very good.
I really liked that was the way it was. Like it wasn't like a because when I first got introduced that he was a cyborg, I was like, oh, did somebody build him? Like what?
Father made me in the lab.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm really happy that it was just him being like, no, I'm just gonna fucking fix myself.
yeah.
A bit of a, I mean, really stretching like what can be done in the world of One Piece.
Yeah.
Not only the idea that there are cyborgs, but the fact that someone is capable of being shipwrecked, well, on an abandoned, broken ship in the middle of the sea, and are able to operate on themselves to become a cyborg while they're also half dead.
I love his refrigerator stomach. I thought it was a
Yeah.
refrigerator.
Yeah.
But really it was just his stomach that had a door because he just put the Cokes in there.
The run that first
And
runs
just
off
like-
coke is so fun.
I like
I
his,
mean, I'm like at this point, I don't want to make claims, but like, because originally when first we got introduced to Frankie, I was like, fuck this guy. I
Yeah.
hate this guy. This guy sucks.
yeah.
I've come around to the point that like I kind of want it to be him. I want him to be the ship's
The carpenter.
the carpenter. I kind of want him to be the ship's carpenter.
I feel like it has to be.
That's what I assume because he has that line where he's like, "Oh, I want to build a ship that's going to sail around the whole
we
world."
have literally everything that it needs is the goal that fits into the little puzzle piece of the rest of everyone on the ship.
The one-
And how the what's it called? The trope that's in JoJo with all the Jo Bros is that they have to fight them first before they become friends with them. So that's already happening. And what else was the one? He's bonding with Usopp.
Yeah, they're getting
And
that Usopp.
so totally, I think
He's
It's just
he's stuck on the train with Usopp now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been kidnapped. I'm wondering, he's gonna have to win over Luffy first if that's gonna happen, because Luffy fucking last thing that happened with
Famously
Luffy,
hard to do.
Well, they brawled, you know.
Yeah, but
He punched Vivi in the face.
what? But yeah, but if Franky convinces Usopp, Franky is going to be the one to convince Usopp to go back and join the Straw Hats. Luffy's going to be like, "Hey, you're all right." Like,
Yeah.
I think absolutely.
And then obviously, I think once we see what he spent 200 million berries
oh
on,
my god, I forgot about that.
we still don't know what that was.
He spent it on Polnareff land.
Yeah,
It's a bit of a
Franky land.
I've been waiting for that Chekhov's gun to fire. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I really want to know what that was. I feel like
Sorry.
the frog.
I'm sorry.
The
I
frog.
thought you were done.
There's a frog.
The frog was
I was
also
gonna say the frog is in the back.
Yeah.
In the flashback.
Chekhov's frog.
Iceberg. I was worried Iceberg was gonna be a villain when we met him. Not worried, but I just thought he might be. Turns out, no, he's a swell guy.
I feel really stupid that I said he was gonna be Nico Robin's dad.
Did you
I was
say
thinking
that?
on
did.
last episode.
On
I was
last
like, my
episode.
theory is that's
Wait, but
Nico
we were
Robin's
just, like,
dad.
spitting out. I
Yeah,
spit
yeah,
out my
yeah.
bullshit theory
Of course,
too.
of course. I just been thinking about that a lot
That's so
because I was like,
funny.
I was so wrong. I didn't even hit the board.
I thought Nico Robin was his mom. Oh, we also have canonical ages for them too.
Which one?
For both Franky and Iceberg.
Yes.
Franky is 34 right now, and Iceberg is 38.
Mm-hmm.
I just found that interesting because that has not been listed yet, like, or other characters have not had their ages like explicitly, like calculable like that.
I
Yeah.
guess that would be really funny if Frankie is the next Straw Hat. He's this 35-year-old hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-olds,
18 to
early
20-year-olds.
20-somethings.
Yeah.
Well, Robin
like,
is,
fine.
I think, like
I bet-
25 or 26 or something.
Yeah. He's gonna keep getting old. The next Straw Hat's gonna be 45.
Well, is Robin even gonna be a Straw Hat?
That's
anymore?
true. She's probably not gonna even be in any of the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh,
She actually accidentally trips and breaks her neck on the sea train.
I need more.
Oh, speaking of Robin,
Every time she does, we said this every time. Anytime she is on screen.
What
on
did y'all
page.
think about her goal?
Oh my
That-
God, it got
Made
me
me
to cry.
cry.
It made me cry.
I had to read in your bathroom, so I didn't cry, but I was touched, and I put in my notes. I was like,
emotional.
they believe in me,
It really,
and I was like, oh fuck.
it's crazy that there really are people like that where you just have no idea what's going on inside their head, and you just like some people would assume the worst, but then you find out that like no, they like genuinely like they're a human being. They just like don't, I don't know, act like it to some people's perceptions.
Yeah.
And to find out that all of this she'd been doing of like trying to distance herself from, she was trying to kind of give the Straw Hats the creatures goodbye to keep them safe.
She
The
was.
creatures goodbye.
She was.
And she was doing it all to keep them safe. And seeing the thing that like really gets me about this part is seeing Nami's reaction.
Yeah.
Where like after all that,
Yes.
after she finds out, she's not like pissed and she's not like, why is she doing that? She's just relieved and she gets so excited to tell everybody.
I know.
Well, she
it
was in a
was so
similar
sweet.
situation.
Yeah.
When she joined,
So-
before
She
she
sure
joined the
was.
crew.
Zoro's the only one who's kind of like, I don't know about Robin. We gotta like, cover all our bases.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I think he
Classic
just.
first
Which is
mate
understandable.
But
yeah.
even
He
then,
looks
like
at Robin and he's like, "This one's a hot fucking mess. I don't want to deal with this."
She
There's-
smokes too hard. Her bitches are too bad. They're gonna kill her.
there's one specific Zoro line that like really tripped me up, and I sent it to Clayton.
Yeah.
because I didn't know if it was like a mistranslation.
It's translated weird.
It's a weird translation, but at the end of like one of the earlier chapters, he's like, it's like that thing where he's like, well, we need to decide if she's friend or foe.
Yeah.
And I reread that line, that like page, like 5 times because I couldn't fucking figure out what he meant. And I finally think I figured out. I'll here. Let me pull up.
Because the
know that
line he
moment.
says before, because we need to decide if she's friend or foe. Like obviously that is clear, but the line before that,
It's really weird.
It's not grammatically correct. Like
Yeah.
it is just phrased in a way that doesn't make any
Wait, what's the
fucking
line
sense.
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold up.
Yeah. She also, when she first
Okay.
comes across. Oh, you have it.
I
Go
have
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
He says, regardless of the circumstances, Robin first showed up as an enemy and we let her onto our ship. If she's suddenly frightened by that and has run off, then I'm not going to feel right about it.
Frightened
Isn't
by
it
what?
right? I think so. I looked at a different translation, and the different translation was like, here. I'm gonna go find that other translation because it helped me contextualize the line while y'all keep talking for a second.
Well, I think maybe it's like frightened by the fact that they let her on the ship. That's how I took it. I don't know though. It is a weird phrasing.
I don't think that just knowing future stuff from my point of view, I don't think that's really what Zoro's trying to say. I believe that it's more just like if she suddenly. Frightened is a weird choice of words. I don't know. But Robin just wants to help the Straw Hats, and she doesn't care what happens to her necessarily. She just wants them to be okay.
Which is like, I don't know how I feel about that, considering they set up kind of like that she does have like this goal, right? Like with history and stuff, like wanting to know history. But I don't know. It gave the impression that it wasn't just that simple. But now it's like, okay, I thought this whole time that you would do anything to have your own, your own motivations for things. But now it's like, oh, that it was just a key. Which is a good motivation
as well. She is always left to her own devices. That's what she's always doing. But for example, even in Alabasta, she was totally content to die there. And it feels a little weird seeing her aside characters like Zoro and Luffy. It's very different. So far, even though she has this goal, she has this ambition to see history, she is not going to do whatever she can to see it right now. And so when you hear about her talking about like her goal to characters like Iceberg and CP9, personally, I know in my head I would be thinking like, oh, she's talking about her goal to see this. And then I think that's part of what makes it kind of tragic is that she's not just throwing herself away, she's throwing her ambition away.
Right.
And she's totally content to do that just because the Straw Hats were going to have a buster called on them.
The other line the other translation was him saying, Robin started out as our enemy, then we let her onto our ship. She wouldn't have left us out of fear after all this time. So it's like a different interpretation of being more of like, he's like, instead of being like, I don't feel right about her running off, it's like, I don't feel right about her, like the explanation that she just got scared and like somebody was... Yeah, like she just got scared of being a part of this and ran away,
Or that she's just not trying to catch the smoke from
being with them,
I really like the moment where he asks, like, aren't you worried about what's going to happen in the world if you unleash these weapons? She goes, and he's like, don't you care about the world? And she goes, I don't. I was just like, that was fucking hard. Like, she just had the guts to, she doesn't give a single shit enough to, like, pretend that she's not like a nihilist, I guess. I don't know.
Also, she was like, that she had like all these emo lines where it was like, there's a darkness in me. And I was like,
that was...
I loved it.
I thought it was epic. She
was just saying that to throw off the tray.
I just want to say right now, if there is any point where Robin, and this is within her ability, to grow eyes all over her body for some intense moment, that'd be awesome. I just want to say that'd be really, really awesome if that happened. I know nothing, but would that not be the coolest thing you ever saw? Anyway.
Because we haven't seen her grow anything other than arms.
We've seen eyes.
No, we've seen eyes on the
palm.
That's
right.
exactly.
That's right.
Shot the rope, hand rope down.
Yeah.
She was shooting rope.
She can grow. She can grow legs, right?
She can grow legs.
She can grow body
She can grow
parts.
anything.
Like,
but arms
I
is just the most
that.
useful and obvious one.
Yes. Ever since she grew the eye on the palm of the hand, I've been thinking that.
I've always wondered, like, how much
You grow ears.
could she grow a head somewhere else? I actually don't.
Good point.
Probably.
We ain't
You're
seen her
asking
do
us.
it. I'm
You?
asking you. Can you please tell me?
Also Pluton is
a boat.
It's now also central to another plot.
Yes.
It's come back. I like that this
Frankie's got the bloops.
Yeah. This wasn't just a one-time factoid that was central to Alabasta. This is going to be, I guess, a reoccurring issue.
Because I had misinterpreted it on my first read through. When I was reading through this, I was like, why is the Pluton back here? I didn't realize in my first read through that in Alabasta, it was the location of the actual ancient weapon, and this is just the blueprint of the ancient weapon so that they could build another one. That took me a second to because they just referred to it as the Pluton, and they
Yeah.
were after the. And I was like, what was that going on then? But I figured that out. I'm really smart.
Yay.
No, I love it. I love it that it's like it's coming back. We're getting these things dripped in little by little. I assume that we'll learn what the Poseidon thing was at some point too, which I'm very excited for.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to just real quick jump back to you talked about the Buster maneuver.
The Buster call.
I wanted to touch on that
Talk
for a
about
second
Chekhov's
because
gun.
that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
The
for sure.
entire government descends on one ship.
It is, yeah, Buster Call. It is something that no single target can survive, apparently, where they send 5 vice admirals and 10 warships. We've seen, I don't think we've met a vice admiral yet in the story, but we've met an admiral, and that was Aokiji, who single-handedly dispatched the entire Straw Hat crew without trying.
Yeah.
A vice admiral, probably not as strong as that guy, but 5 of them, that sounds scary.
Yeah.
Plus 10 warships.
Plus 10 warships full of people, a full army,
Yeah.
and
Interesting.
some
I wonder
sleeveys
if,
to boot.
I wonder if a certain Gold Roger ever faced anything like that.
Roger could have done that with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
That guy was so cool.
We found out that Mr. Tom
He
built
made-
Roger's ship.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Pretty
Oh.
damn
It was
cool.
given. It was named too. What was it?
Oh yeah, I can never remember the name of Roger's boat, but it has a really cool name.
I wrote it down here somewhere.
Tom also, the first time we see him, he is carrying a boat
Yeah.
just for ease.
He's a fish man. Which
He's
I
a
love.
Yeah,
fish
he's
man.
a fish man. He
Yeah.
built the Oro Jackson for
Yeah.
Goldie Roger.
I like it.
Which I get. Oro is. I mean, that's gold in Italian, right?
Well, no. Yeah, basically.
Well, anyway.
Um,
Yeah, that was the name of Goldie Roger's ship,
yeah.
the Goat, as I hear him referred to.
True. Tom also, though, he is a fisherman, of course, but he's strong even for a fishman.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
He
strong
was-
he is.
He did an insane, some insane feats of strength, including building the Puffing Tom.
Yeah.
Turns out Frankie and
bitch.
Iceberg were directly involved with that. It makes sense now, completely makes sense now why Iceberg is both the head of the Galley Law and the CEO of the train, because he kind of he inherited the train and he built a company from the relative ashes of Tom's company.
Crazy that the government let him build that train. Honestly, I was like, really? They're just gonna they're just gonna put this
yeah.
faith in him? But I guess
I like this judge.
He's really cool.
This judge who was like,
Yeah.
wait, commerce? You're talking about commerce?
Wait, hold on a second. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's like, wait, that'd be cool. I'm just gonna make this executive decision real quick.
Yeah.
This is now law. Bam, build the ship.
Also,
build
I
the,
love the way that was like continued and executed, where it was like after he did that, they were all just like, yeah, you made something
made
so
it.
good,
You're gonna-
we don't care about the ship anymore. And there
Yeah.
was one motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Hate that
I'm ready
guy
to
so
see
much.
him explode in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a little weird about this guy being potentially the main antagonist.
Spandom.
Spammed him.
Fandom.
What makes you feel weird about it?
Well, he kind of felt like a throwaway minor villain that from the past.
It's like a little weasel bitch guy.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
He is. I will say that Spandam is. I believe he has. There have been a lot of polls I've seen where it's like, who's the most hated character in One Piece?
Ooh.
Spandam almost always takes it.
Wow.
He is. It's not that he's like does the worst things out of everybody in One Piece, but he's just basically he's like the Joffrey of One Piece, where it's like,
Yeah.
you little fuck, I just want to wring your neck.
Exactly.
Yeah, he has that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He has that same characterization seemingly so far that one of the villains from the best movie of all time, Iron Giant, Kent Mansley has this thing where he's just like he just wants to be right, and when he decides that this one person needs to go to jail or that this thing needs to happen, he's just going to put so many people in danger to get it done.
Yeah.
And it's I love villains like that because it's just like it's a good little thing that we got going on.
Yeah. I thought it was fucked up that like they were gonna execute this guy just for making a ship.
Yeah.
For Gold Roger. Like,
He was. Yeah, I guess he was He just was an accomplice, I suppose.
Yeah.
Also, in the flashback, we kind of get the big introduction of that debate between Iceberg and Cuddy Flam at the time in Frankie with like the whole like building weapons and like the morality of building weapons, which I really enjoy that this is a
The
conversation
moment-
that's happening.
The moment too where Frankie is like, "No, those boats aren't mine anymore," and Tom, who's just been sitting there with handcuffs on, just goes, "Hold on," and just breaks out of the
Breaks in
handcuffs and
punches
stands
the shit
up.
out of him.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Also, when he is thinking to himself, and he's like, "Man, Frankie, I bet you're really pissed off at this guy. I bet you really want to punch him, but you can't." And then he just wallops the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So good. Tom's awesome.
Yeah. It all really came together with that flashback. It seemingly, from what I can tell, tied up a lot of loose ends or answered a lot of questions that were set up. Pretty satisfying overall. But now we're getting on to the next act of this little play.
They're on their way to.
Annie's lobby.
Yeah.
Annie's Lobby.
I'm so excited for that because the guy, the stupid dumb asshole guy
Spandam.
is the top commander of that, and he's there, and it's like a
CP9.
prison.
He's the
seems. Or,
director
like,
of CP9.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the head of.
Is it a
Annie's
prison?
lobby.
It seems like it's like either a
So
like where they keep they keep people there, and
it
then
is
they're gonna,
basically the last stop on the train to hell, pretty much. Like that is where you go. That's basically where they book you to be sent to the place where they lock you up and throw away the key.
Got it.
And because they've said that nobody has come back from Enid's
Nobody.
lobby.
Once you go to Annie's Lobby, you are going to be rotting in jail for the rest of your life.
That's crazy. Because I have a feeling that some people we know, maybe one who is blonde, is going to go there, and he's probably going to come back.
Remember when he wrote the note on the wall to look at the note that he read?
Yeah.
So
It was like,
funny.
if you're
Nami's
not
like-
Nami, don't read this.
Yeah.
How'd you find that tiny little note? And he's like, it was right over here.
If you're Nami, read this. If you're not Nami, don't, idiot.
I don't know
So
how
funny.
Oda keeps doing that. I don't know how he keeps pulling this
Because
fast one
there's
over
so
me.
many things going
There's
on.
so many things
There's
going on. I'm like, I
characters.
always
Always
forget that
Sanji.
Sanji is alone and that Sanji has no idea what's going on, and Sanji's going to make decisions, and they're gonna be right, and he's gonna Mr. Prince
And he's
I
gonna
love-
the whole
call
fucking
them on a
thing.
little snail and be like, I got it.
Like, hey, I love to. Sanji does he does the whole Mr. Prince thing. He's so cool, and then he's on the back of the train. He's got his little cigar, and he's like, I can't even freaking smoke out here. And he's like, I wonder what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
And then a guy opens the door, and
he
he's like,
just smiles.
His face, oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
obsessed
Beaming.
with his
He
face.
just smiles up at him,
uh-huh.
and then kicks his ass.
And then he kicks him, and then it's the two faces that end the whole section we saw, where it's like everybody going like, ah, like, hey, let's get that guy, and Sanji being like, duh.
I really, I wish I might go back and reread these last few chapters because I just
Sure.
loved the imagery of like Aqua Lagoon is coming.
Uh-huh.
The storm is setting in, and I just love imagery on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
baby.
And there's some great
We're
train
about to get a
stuff coming
fucking
up.
train fight, and I'm so
Yes,
excited.
yes,
Oh man,
Yes.
train fights are my favorite. Oh, I can't wait to get
The
to
merry-go's gone last. I forgot to say.
The merry-go got
the merry-go
tossed
got
into the fucking
tossed.
Aqua Laguna. We also see it like break apart up, like when it gets tossed in.
It's going. I don't think it's making past this. I think
Who-
they're gonna.
who tossed
My
it in?
prediction.
Frankie. No.
It was Lucci,
Lucci did.
if not one of his little henchmen.
Yes.
I don't know who actually did the action.
Here's my
but-
prediction. Okay, here's my prediction.
Okay.
What's up?
We're gonna go to Annie's lobby. We're gonna save Robin. We're gonna come back, and during our Ewok celebration, they're gonna say goodbye to the merry-go or the going merry in some way, shape, or form. And I think Frankie or Iceberg or both are gonna build them a new ship, and then they're gonna go sail to the Two-Piece or wherever the fuck. The
I
next
think we're
place
also
is.
probably gonna. I have to assume.
What?
I have to assume
What?
Frankie and Tom are gonna have a reunion. I don't think Tom's dead.
I
think he's gonna be there.
Right.
I'll
at
be honest.
Enid's lobby.
I'd be surprised
Right.
if Gold Roger's dead at this point. We found out. Oh my god, we found out. Apparently, this was already in the story.
Yeah.
But we officially found out from a cover story that Penn survived
Pell.
Pell.
that Pell, survived
We were all
the
vicious. We were on
nuclear.
him.
He survived the nuclear explosion.
What's like
in
Batman
Alabasta.
at the end of Dark
He
Knight
had
Rises?
He had
Yeah.
autopilot.
Clayton made that joke to me, where he was like, autopilot on smiley face, and I was like, fuck you, Oda. Actually, go to hell. It's like it's just it feels a little annoying when Oda is making such a legit story. He's cooking.
True.
He keeps cooking, but you keep getting reminded that these stakes feel almost artificial because people are not dying.
Oda is so he is willing to kill a character. And a lot of times he's like, who would be the most poignant death? And it's one of his. You can tell in Alabasta, Oda made Pell as like, this guy is going to be just a background guy. And he's like, wait, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
And so he gets the heroic sacrifice moment. And Oda's like, there we go. And then he's like,
Aw.
wait, but then I don't get to draw Pell anymore.
Yeah. And Pell it's almost insulting that Pell has all these big scars
Oh my
on
God.
his body.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Well, it really hurt.
buddy, you wouldn't have scars on your body.
You'd
You would
be
have
dust.
antimatter on your fucking body.
You would
'cause you
be
would not fucking exist. Actually.
Juice on somebody else's boot, my friend.
Okay.
I do want to say real quick, before we move on entirely from the flashback, Franky tries to stop the train with his body. That's how he get hurt.
Yeah.
That shit was
The
crazy.
first time, when we are arriving to Water 7, we see a certain little frog
Yes.
Yep.
trying to do that same thing for some
That's what I
reason.
said. The frog. The frog was trying.
It
to...
was his pet sumo frog.
Yeah.
Sumo frog.
They were such a little happy family. The five
Yeah.
of them.
They were.
You know?
With it
Seeing
being,
young Kokoro
that was
makes
fucking
me
ridiculous.
nauseous.
What
Like
the
that's
fuck?
That
is
sucked.
She looked like that her whole life. That's awesome.
truly
fuck?
a terrible design.
No, terrible decision.
Bro.
Were her and Tom married? Is that what was implied?
No, she was her.
No.
She was his secretary.
Yeah.
So take that how you will. But like,
They were frickin'.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what's going to happen on this train. I love things that happen on trains, and I especially love fights that happen on trains. And this train looks baller. The interior, when the CP9 dudes were sitting and chilling in for, I guess, at least business class.
And Robin's. Oh, that moment where Robin was. Oh, the remote.
What were you singing?
Okay.
Just
I said the song that goes, I don't actually know what it's called.
Do you know that you said barely anything?
Wait,
of-
Sunflower from this.
No.
I thought you were saying Sunflower from Spider-Man. Okay.
Someone Shazam what Clayton just said.
Here, let me
Sorry,
go.
Adriana, what were you saying?
When Robin's sitting on the train and like remembering shit about when she first met everyone, that was so insane.
That was
so.
Yeah.
And it reminded me, especially because
And she's not even just like, oh man. She's like happy because she has
Yeah.
those memories.
Insane.
I love a good train window scene. Just happened in Jujutsu Kaisen, by the way. A little girl on a train,
Oh yeah.
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
actually a really good scene.
Yeah.
Hashtag-
Yeah. It was a good scene. Not. We don't. We'll talk about that off the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that off the podcast.
No, it just reminded me of that, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, so Jujutsu Kaisen bit off One Piece. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking
I'm
of,
kidding.
I don't think that we will maybe have time for our last segment today.
True.
Can our last
So
segment be
we're
talking
gonna
about the
have to-
iconic Sanji line
Yeah.
for a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Real
Ready,
men
go.
forgive
Women's
women's
lies.
lies.
realize.
I can see
I'm
why-
fully on board with that line.
That's-
We were talking a
was
little
like-
bit before we started recording. That
Let
apparently
them
that's controversial.
gatekeep. Let them
It
gaslight.
felt like Sanji grew up a little bit, but not enough, and I loved that.
Yeah.
It's such a Sanji line, and
It
it's so
really
It
is.
really
It's like
is.
I
Yeah.
know she's lying.
It's
I mean,
like-
it was cool. Like it was very like, oh, I knew she was lying the whole time, and I'm gonna go take care of business and whatever. And I'm so cool all the time. But then it was also like, what are you doing?
It's like it absolutely is like so rooted in misogyny, but also that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of baller, but also it's like
He can do it a little
my
bit.
it was
God.
it was like it was very simp coded, and so I could see why some people hate it. I have seen
No, it wasn't. It was condescending as fuck.
Yeah.
and also, I mean, really?
Yes, I'm a real man, so I know when a woman is not saying what she means, and I know better.
It's kind
than
of
her.
like she was just hysterical a little bit.
Like,
I guess
she was
that's
just
that is a way to
like-
take it.
Yeah.
I've seen
That makes so much sense. That makes
Twitter
me-
threads called worst manga panels of all time, and that has made the cut for a
Wow.
few people. Yeah,
That's so
I'm like, that wasn't that bad.
That's hilarious.
I've seen worse.
Uh-huh.
See, because I just interpreted it as I was like, "Oh, he likes his friends," and
And
that's the
where
deepest
it
I looked
comes
into.
from. That's where it comes from, truly.
And if you
Truly.
just interpret it and you only read it like that, I'm becoming a Sanji defender. Oh no! Clayton.
Yeah, I've already told y'all. We're all going to be Sanji fans by the end of this. I think if I had to guess, Hayden, I think there's some valleys that you're going to stick through in next arc. After the arc that we're going into, there's the arc after that. We're going to lose this half of the table. They're
Okay.
going to be staunchly anti. They're going to have no remorse for Sanji.
Oh.
And then I've already said this later on. You are going to be back on the Sanji train.
Yeah.
Probably harder than either of these two.
Damn.
Oh.
I was the way I'm thinking about it is was already predicting, and what is true now is that I'm like an intense, extreme Sanji enjoyer and a Sanji persecutor. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna defend him
No.
in
Uh-huh.
any way.
No.
He sucks, and
He
for
is-
some reason,
He's kind of blubbery in that you like need to keep him in a cage, but it's for your own safety.
Clayton, you know what's funny?
What's
I think
up?
you're gonna have a very similar journey with a certain JoJo character. His name
Josuke.
Alessi.
Okay.
You're really gonna. I feel like you're gonna go through this whole thing with Alessi.
He comes back.
Hey,
I knew
he's-
that. It was
He's on his way back.
you're stupid.
Yeah,
Shut up.
That was all a lie. I don't. Do you think there's any characters where Clayton's gonna
I'll
have
think
a similar
about it.
journey?
I don't think there's any characters in JoJo long enough
Yeah.
to have a
Yeah.
Sanji arc.
Yeah.
I think there is gonna be. I think I'm very interested to see how
Oh, you
Clayton's
know
gonna
what?
react to one in part
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, yeah. Okay.
But
Oh, yeah.
Shut up, you don't know what we're talking. Do you?
In part 6?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know part 6. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
he
Okay,
read.
cool.
He read it.
I'm kidding.
Shut
Shut up, Clay.
But I think. Is there anything else? God, let me look. There's so much.
there's a lot that happened.
an extra big section tonight.
I love
Or
it so
this
much.
past 2 weeks. So, give it. The sea levels are rising. I thought that was a funny little.
Sea levels are rising.
Obviously, the island's just sinking.
So,
But I thought that was funny. It was like I thought for a second Oda was about to go global warming mode in One Piece.
Yeah.
just so I remember where we're ending properly. On the train, Sanji, Robin, Usopp, and Franky.
Flanky.
Yes.
As well as the 4 members of CP9 that we have met.
Yes.
Hold on. Wait, Chopper's on the.
No, I didn't say
you
Chopper.
Did not say Chopper.
No.
Say who's on the train? Say again.
Franky, Usopp, Sanji,
Chopper.
Robin.
Okay, you said someone
The
said
4
Chopper.
members of CP9.
No. I mean the first.
I
time,
got him. I fucking got his ass.
the first time someone said Chopper.
No, I will listen to it back.
I know that you were joking. Just
You have to be gentle with Josh. You have to be nice to Josh.
Luffy and Zoro are
stuck in a building.
Yes.
This I will say this right
Throwed
now.
really
This has
hard.
been a great arc so far. My least favorite part so far
This one
has
gets
been Luffy getting stuck in a building twice and Zoro getting stuck in a chimney once.
Oh my god.
Oh, the
we-
chimney
That
is so good.
is bullshit.
Oh,
I don't
so-
care if it's funny. I don't care if
I
it's
mean, to
in
be-
character. That is bullshit.
I don't think, because it doesn't change anything. Like, they got defeated. What?
if they were
Girl.
He got stabbed in the chest and thrown. If he was not stuck in a building, he would be stuck on the ground in a puddle
Oh
of blood.
my god, okay, wait. I forgot how they ended up there.
Yeah,
I
they
just
just got-
remembered they got thrown. Wait, Zoro got thrown to the ocean though.
Yeah, I noticed that this time as well, where I saw him go into the ocean and I was like, wait, what?
Well, it's like
And
so he
then
just-
he was
he got-
in a chimney.
it's like skipping stones. He went like boing boing and then hit off the train and bounced back.
Uh-huh.
No,
You actually saw that happen.
He swam he swam in the Grand Line where there's no direction. He found his way back to Water 7
Uh-huh.
and then got lost in a chimney.
Yeah.
He's Santa.
Yeah, we can't. I don't think that. I'm sure there's
Oh my
some
God,
good
yeah.
shit we're
There's
missing.
There's the window. I just want to touch and say how much I loved the moment where Luffy was just like, "All right, I'm gonna go."
Window moment was epic.
When the window
Window moment
moment
was like
beautiful.
Shrek wedding crashing
What?
entrance.
Yeah.
Which
Remember?
moment?
The moment
Luffy
when
shoot himself
when
through the window.
Luffy first raided just to go talk to Iceberg, and
We'll show you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
bazooka
that's-
through the
yes.
window. Yeah.
That shit was cool. And when he busted through the walls with Zoro, after CP9 revealed themselves. Although CP9, they've been doing this thing where they've been revealing everything about themselves that
We're secret government agents. We do secret things, and we're looking for this. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, we're like,
like
well, we're
it.
gonna kill you anyway, so we're gonna indulge. It's like
I like that though, because
It's
this
for
is
us,
the first
you know?
time that they've
In
this
5
is-
years.
Yeah, that
He had
they've
to be
just been
secret for so
Yeah.
long.
and they think that they're just gonna win. They just think that everyone's gonna die. So of course, why would they not?
it's a bit unprofessional, and it will be their undoing
It will.
somehow.
With that, we
Homework.
got to end this thing.
Yeah, we
so
do.
hard.
Homework.
Let's talk about homework. Do we want to do JoJo or One Piece first?
We're gonna do One Piece first.
One Piece first. Okay, with that, expectation-wise, we're on the good time train, y'all. We are going to be reading from chapter 362 to chapter 376. That's a solid 14 chapter right there.
Wow.
Okay.
That's just over half.
And then
Of
the
what
next
we just
one
read.
is going to be not quite as long as we read this go around, but longer than that.
Cool.
Ellis, could you come here for a sec? I have to. Sorry, there's something we got to do. I think I know what the answer to this is going to be, but Ellis, I just have to ask you a question on the podcast. If you knew somebody,
Oh
my fucking God.
let's say that you are ahead of time. You're attracted to this person. I know 100% what the answer to this is going to be. You're maybe attracted to this person beforehand. Is there any shot in the world that if you saw somebody piss themselves before you were dating, that you could go on to date them?
No.
Yeah.
Coward.
Because-
no, you're
Correct
wrong.
answer,
You're
the
so wrong.
correct answer.
That's 3 against 2.
Judgmental?
Y'all have
What?
to go kill
I'm gonna.
yourself.
I'll
Judgmental
get
one?
Maxim down here.
What's up?
No, you just
Thank
went
you.
on
No,
a-
no, that's the
That's
right.
genuine.
That's the
You went
right
on a good
response.
Oh, the
first
context
date.
of how they piss themselves? Sure, take it away.
You just went on a good first date, and
You
then
and Audrey-
no. You went on a good first date. You like the person, and it's going well, and then you see them in public, have no contact with them. You don't know what's going on in their life, what reason they piss their pants. You just see them in public. They piss their pants, and they don't know even you saw them.
Okay, no.
No.
Yeah,
no,
2 people at this table are like, "We'll hear them out," and it's like, no.
No.
What's the homework for
Y'all
JoJo?
fucking suck.
JoJo
Nah.
homework.
JoJo homework. You were gonna watch 4 episodes of Diamond
Okay.
is Unbreakable. You're gonna want, and I am gonna need to be there for all 4 of them. I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
Uh,
Are we recording in 1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
I think it's gonna either we can make it a week and a half if we want. I mean, we could say when we get back if we want to do it in the middle of the week when we get
We
back.
can talk about this off the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
it's
you
my-
asked the question.
It's my fault for bringing it up. I just wanted to know.
You'll be watching the next 4 episodes.
4 eppies.
These are great episodes. I think you're gonna really enjoy them. Also, once you start the next episode, you will officially be halfway through the anime of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not the series, but the anime in terms of episode count.
That's cool.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yay.
That is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, we
Okay.
got to be honest.
Anything else before you guys are allowed to go and piss your pants together?
And love each other
Yeah, and
afterwards,
love each other afterward,
despite
yeah.
our flaws.
Yeah.
Would y'all
Yeah.
still be friends with me if I pissed myself on the podcast and didn't tell anybody, and y'all had to notice just from smell, and you were like, "Hey, did you piss yourself?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, actually." now that you say that, I pissed myself.
Oh, drag.
I didn't realize it. Now that you bring that up, I'm totally realizing I've pissed myself. Would you still be friends with me?
Yeah.
If that happens, 100 more years of podcast.
Oh my God! Now you're just
Now I'm doubling down.
yeah.
I don't even have a reason to do that.
All right.
You've got a piss kink, and we all know it.
And with that,
No, I don't, for the record.
And with that,
And with that,
Hey everyone, this is the true host of this podcast, the main one, the important one, Clayton. Just stepping in to give you a little bit of an update on the homework. We had another situation where about midway through the week, we kind of shifted and changed what the idea was. So we're actually going to be adding one more episode to the JoJo's homework. So anyone, if you are watching along with us, go ahead and add episode 25, Heartfather, or in some cases Adam Heartfather, I think, go ahead and add that to the homie work, okay? I also just want to step in because I know this is the episode where we talk a lot about whether you would date someone still if they done peed their pants. And I think that this would be a nice place to kind of update everyone on where the scores are at. Because we've been asking a lot of people this, and we've asked I think we've asked over 20 people, and so far, every single person has said is on Adriana and I's side. They've said that they would not date those people. And Josh and Hayden actually changed their minds as well, which is an interesting. I don't know how much more we talk about on the podcast, but over time, eventually, they realized that we were right and that they were weird, disgusting freaks. And that's the words that they use, is that they were strange, disgusting freaks. But with that, that's the homework adjustment. I'm going to toss it back to your boys. With that,
I don't have a piss king.
we love you.
Good
night.
Hi, Mom.
Josh has a piss kink.